Hi, this is Micaiah Storm, and you're watching Pick a Card Reading, Messages from the Inner Child, starring Unicorn. His name is now Sparkly, and for the purposes of this video, he is our helper. Sparkly the Unicorn will be helping us with the card readings today. Okay, Sparkly, here we go. We have 5 different decks today that you can pick. We have over here the first one, which has a quartz crystal on the top. Deck number 1. Deck number 2 with the Kyanite. Deck number 3, Turquoise. Deck number 4, Variscite. Deck number 5, red Calcite. Select which deck resonates most with you. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, or even all 5. So if it's all 5, tune in and watch for the entirety of this video because your inner child has a lot to share with you. If it's 1, your inner child has a message that is in one of these 5 decks here. So click down in the description box and in the comments there'll be a timestamp that will direct you to which deck is yours for this reading. So if it's all 5, just watch through the entire video. If you're starting at 1, we're rolling straight into that now. Number 1 is the Quartz deck. Deck number 1 with the quartz crystal. Deck number 1 starts out with the Playgrounds of Possibilities card, which is a card deck created by my great aunt Kay Ross, and it's all about the exploration of possibilities. So with this deck, we start with the question of what would be possible for me if I started before I felt ready. So with the Quartz deck number 1, the first question off the bat is about readiness. So your inner child is saying to you, hey, there is something that I really, really, really want to do. But what's coming up here for you in relation to this is some apprehension. There's an uncertainty and a question of, can I do this? Am I ready for this? And perhaps some fear associated with not being sure if it is the right time, if you're equipped with all of the resources that are necessary for this endeavor. Surrender. This card deck here was created by my mother Omanisa Ross. It's a deck called the Aura Color Cards. They represent different colors of the aura. And the 2 cards that are coming up right now are Surrender and Honor. So this is asking us to surrender and let go of a feeling of control. And this may be perhaps in relation to this question of, am I ready? And it's saying to let go and to embrace these new possibilities that are unfolding. I'm hearing allow yourself to leap. Allow yourself to make that next step that you may not feel ready for, but it's here. And it's now, it's happening. And whatever this next step is it's related to honor. The direction that you're heading in is one of honoring yourself, honoring your values in some way. And we have loss here. with the butterflies leaving the jar. I'm very much drawn to this visual of the butterflies leaving the jar right now. It's like the phase that is going on in your life is of flourishing. It's the caterpillar moving into the phase of the butterfly. On the card it says, feelings of disappointment and loss will soon fade as you find strength in love. Love is patient and kind, so persist, learn, and emerge stronger. I'm sensing that there has been loss in your past, and some of this grief that has occurred in your past has created this sense of apprehension around moving forward. And Unicorn is here to say, hey, we can do this. The grief from the past is no longer relevant to where we are moving together at this time. I'm really seeing a sense for this first deck of letting go. Releasing things that are no longer serving us. And we have a card coming up here as well. It's Wild Parsnip card. These are Australian flower cards designed by my mother Omanisa Ross again. So this one, Wild Parsnip, we have a few different mantras on the back here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually roll the dice to determine which of these is the most relevant for this particular spread. So we have number 2 coming up. My body and spirit are balanced and in perfect harmony with one another. There's this beautiful sense here of surrendering, letting go, trusting in spirit, trusting in the unknown, in the fact that we may not know what is on the horizon. We may not know what these possibilities are that are coming, that are unfolding in our lives. But when we are connected with spirit, when we're connected to this feeling of trust, this feeling of surrendering to the divine, and also we are connected to our bodies, to how we can make small steps or big leaps in each moment. That is when everything locks into place. The harmonization. Insecurity yellow. So as we have coming up in this card over here, where it says, I start before what would be possible if I started before I felt ready, we have insecurity here. So there are lingering doubts and questions of, am I enough? Can I do this? I really feel like whatever is on the horizon is some kind of dream that we've been wanting to do for quite some time, but it has been repressed. But of course, you are one with a strong connection to spirit, as mentioned with these cards here, with surrender, letting go. And through focusing on this connection with spirit, this is what allows us to really understand what is being repressed and how our insecurities are affecting us and holding us back from starting this project. There is a strong holding back going on here with the insecurity and repression. Wolverine, we have, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. So if there's anything that loss has taught you in your life, it is that you are strong. And this very strength that you have gathered in your life through these experiences is what has fortified you with the abilities to be able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. There's some kind of feeling of loyalty coming up here. Now, this can be read a few ways. For some of you, this is in relation to holding on to something or someone that is no longer fitting the grander picture that is your life. Loyalty is an overcommitment to someone or something. And it often centers around promises. So this could be, I promised someone this, or it could be, this person has a particular idea about who I am and I need to be loyal to that. It can be being loyal to a workplace, it could be being loyal to a relationship. There are many different ways that this shows up in our lives. What I'm seeing here is because we have honor and loyalty, for those who have selected this deck, there's a strong sense of when I commit to something, I really commit to it. Now, what comes along with that are sometimes these fears of, well, if I step into this new thing, what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if it doesn't turn out how I would like it to? And then everything crumbles, right? There's this fear, and it's a fear of loss. It's fear of loss. And so what can happen is we can either hold on to something very tightly and really, really not want to let it go. Or we can completely avoid getting into it in the first place. And these are tendencies to watch out for with this color combination, because we have a strong value system with this deck, with this combination of honor and loyalty. So whatever it is that we're entering into is something that we're entering into wholeheartedly. But there is a shift going on here in that, in disconnecting from the things and the people that we are loyal to that are not serving our highest values in this moment, and connecting with things that are. The most significant word that is coming up for this spread is trust. Trusting in that if we set clear intentions based on our values about what it is that we are wanting to do, then there is nothing that can stop us, because once we're in it, we are committed. Once I'm in this, I am committed. Unicorn says, you may have lost before. You may have felt lost before, but you are found now. Now you are found. And now is the time to step into the new phase of life and fly like a butterfly into all of the brilliance that you are. Because truly, the moment you are ready is the moment that you are already jumping. Take the leap and trust that Spirit has you. Your inner child is excited for the possibilities that are coming your way. Your inner child is thrilled for what is on the horizon. And what is on the horizon may be some kind of change in the direction of mastering your shamanic abilities, delving into your imagination, going on journeys inside of your mind, getting really clear on what it is that you really, really want to do, and then jumping into it because you love it. Regardless of how scary it might be. And that is deck number 1 with the clear quartz. A deck about honoring ourselves and our values, taking that leap into the unknown and trusting that we can hold ourselves, that we have the strength to do it. For deck number 1, viewers who have chosen this one, if you have enjoyed this reading, please click a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. There is a link to my Patreon in the description box where I have great rewards and art just like this, original and created by me. Tune in next time. And here we go, it's deck number 2. And for deck number 2, we have the blue Kyanite. Blue Kyanites. Deck number 2, we're starting off with the question of what would be possible for me if I took my mask off? Interesting question. And the second card here is fear. So in this reading, the inner child is having some kind of difficulty with judgment. Now this is the fear of what other people think of them. And perhaps this could relate to some situation or series of situations, reoccurring patterns or themes in childhood that have led to this feeling of people just don't like me for me. And so there has been this persona or mask created over the top of the soul, over the top of the natural, glowing vibrancy that is the inner child. One that says, I have to act in these particular ways or say these things in order to be accepted by other people. So the message from the inner child in this reading is, I want to take my mask off. But I'm scared. Because when I was last seen for me, I wasn't accepted for me. We have zealous. Zealous relates to this enthusiasm, this vibrancy within us. When someone is in a zealous state, they're talking with so much enthusiasm that it's infectious. Now, perhaps as a child, you were told, don't speak speak unless you were spoken to, or you felt that what it was you had to say was undermined, that your opinions, that your thoughts, that your feelings didn't matter in some kind of way. Perhaps you really, really enjoyed something, but you were told, no, this isn't a viable thing to spend your life doing, to invest into. Maybe try this instead. Perhaps you just felt misunderstood when it came to your passions. There is a fear of speaking with enthusiasm about the things that you love. When was the last time you remember speaking passionately and freely about the things that you enjoy? We have a dog. Dog. Doggy. I'm gonna reach up here because I have a little dog. So I'm gonna play around with this dog, maybe put this dog on the card. With dog, it says your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. In the previous reading that we had with card number 1, we were talking about having a lot of loyalty and sometimes misplaced loyalty. This is the same with this card. So if you were attracted to this spread, you might have also been attracted to spread number 1 as well, because there are some similar themes in these two spreads. So what this is saying is that you've been thinking so much about other people, about what other people think, about how other people are going to react, that it has compromised your own integrity in some kind of capacity, in that you're acting for other people, to serve other people, speaking to serve other people, rather than yourself. And this comes back to the mask, in that if our mask has been designed to serve other people, then is it a mask that serves us? Is this persona that we're playing one that is benefiting us? And we also have the falcon as well. I was drawn to choose 2 animal cards here back to back. The falcon is saying act on the opportunity that's before you and commit to it. So there's some kind of transition that's occurring here. It's a choice. And this choice is going to impact whether you take your mask off or not. Whatever is coming up for you at the moment that is to do with an opportunity to speak your truth, to be heard, to be understood, to jump outside of your comfort zone and do things in a different way. This is going to be something that really helps you to move through this fear that you've been feeling to do with how other people are perceiving you. And we have intelligence. Intelligence is to do with really honoring our own insights, our own thoughts. What it is that is really, really valuable to you. It's all about having your own wisdom. Having these sparks of revelation, these sparks of insight, and sharing them with other people. And not being afraid if these thoughts are different to what other people have expected. and perhaps what other people have expected from you as well. Because if we've been wearing a mask in some kind of capacity, then people are used to expecting a certain way of being from us. So coming out with these thoughts, with these different insights, may actually affect people in your life in the way that they might feel intimidated by you, jealous, envious, confused. And in fact, they might decide that they don't like you because they have really enjoyed the mask that you've been wearing, and you're taking off this mask and you're communicating in a different way, you're speaking about things that you're enthusiastic about, and some people who have been around you might not get that. And so this is going to create a polarity in that some people will really enjoy what you have to say and other people not quite so much. And this is where the fear comes in. And this is the fear to do with not being accepted, being misunderstood. And this is a journey of really embracing the fact that not everyone is going to understand. But the people who do understand and the people who do acknowledge you are people who are acknowledging you for your truth, for your wisdom, for the things that you're passionate about. And they're really seeing your soul and connecting with your soul. We have destiny here. This is saying to me that you're going to be meeting people. And you may have already met some of these people who really, really love what it is that you're all about. The more that you focus on sharing the things that you're enthusiastic about and these insights, these ideas with people, you'll be resonating and outputting such an energy that people will be drawn to you. The people who are in resonance with what it is that you're putting out will see you. And you'll have some encounters that feel like they are divinely orchestrated, that happen in just the right timing or just the right kind of way. Perhaps you'll notice that things just seem to be falling into place in a way that is really quite spectacular. And loneliness here as well, which is interesting because I mentioned that with destiny that it was to do with meeting people. And I feel that this meeting of people who really understand you will resolve some loneliness that you've been feeling. Some loneliness that has been in your heart, linked to not quite feeling understood and accepted for who you are. What would be possible for me if I released my need to be in control? So I feel that this is to do with the fact that this change, what's happening in your life, to do with taking off your mask and embracing these new shifts and these new opportunities, may lead you in directions that you've never walked down before. And there may be these fearful aspects of you come up that may seek to control what is happening in your life. And going back a little bit to the first reading, I would say that key to this is in trusting that the changes that are happening are taking place because you're prioritizing yourself. because you're being loyal to what really matters to you. And we have Heart Fuchsia. I'm going to roll the dice for this one as well. And we have number 2. I open my heart to healing. So there's some really beautiful healing that's going on here with this spread. It's in relation to really connecting with a part of us that we felt disconnected from due to feeling rejected or misunderstood in the past. And we have at the end here the card saying meditate. So if you're feeling any sensations of discomfort coming up for you in the process of taking off your mask, if any of these fearful thoughts are coming up for you, such as, what are they going to think of me? Will they like me? What Spirit is saying here is to meditate. Meditate. And the unicorn is dropping in to say, meditate on standing on a stage in front of many people who have paid to hear you speak about what you love. And when you have finished, they applaud and they applaud and they applaud. Oh, how spectacular your insights and imagination is. And they clap and they clap and they clap, and then you leave and you feel so nourished, so supported, like everything that you've done up to this point has been worthwhile. So that is spread number 2. Speaking of the fear of being ourselves, the fear of speaking about what it is that we love, and being loyal to our truth. So let me know what your impressions are of this spread. Pop them down in the comments section. And if you have enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you want to check out my Patreon, I have some links down in the description box too, to really wicked rewards and cool as art by yours truly. Okay, and moving on. We are now moving into spread number 3, starring the Turquoise and Unicorn friends. The first question is, what if I stepped courageously into the unknown and improvised? You have the Journey card. So this one is all about really acknowledging that we are on the right path and we're exactly where we need to be right now in our journey. And in fact, it's a time of pausing to reflect on where we have been and where it is that we're planning to go in the future. Really acknowledging what it has taken to get us to this point that we're at now. We have the theme of the unknown coming up again in this deck as well. So with this one, it's all about, a little bit like with the first deck, where it was talking about making that leap before we think that we're ready. This one is about improvising in the unknown. So this is all about thinking on our feet. We might not know what that next phase is or where we're going, but this seems to be a call to be present where we are right now. And perhaps if we're having any thoughts that are going around and around and around about how am I going to figure this out? Or what is the next thing to do to just bring ourselves back into the moment and ask ourselves, what can I do now? The card that's coming up here for the flower is the annual yellow top. I'm going to be rolling the dice again, checking out what's coming up for us with this one, and we've got number 5. And it's saying, I shine in harmony with others. So, 2 things off the bat that I'm sensing with this. One, and I'm going to link this with the first card here, about improvising. Perhaps you are going to be collaborating with other people in the near future. That's one thing I'm seeing come up. And this is to do with really exploring the inner child with another person or a group of people. You might be someone who is interested in or has done some performing arts before, and you really enjoy improvisation games. This seems to be a calling now that if you are one of these people, to perhaps get back into this, or if you're someone who hasn't thought about this before, get together with a friend or a group of friends and just play and see what you can come up with together. See what comes through when you're there in that setting, 1-to-1 or 1 to a group. See what comes through. This is all about I can shine and other people can shine too alongside me. We've got blame coming up here. Also check out the other few cards to see what's also coming through. Blame, depression, and ascetic. There's a few dynamics that I'm sensing here. I'm going to keep pulling a few cards to see what else is here. We've also got another playground possibility cards. What would be possible for me if I improvise new, more joyful, and more resourceful ways of being? This is great. I really see this. So it's interesting that we have the word improvised in both of these 2 cards that are coming up. So this seems to be really creating, designing a new way of living our lives through playfulness, through improvisation, through thinking on the spot. We've got aesthetic coming up here. The shadow side of aesthetic is where we become hyper fixated and we might want to nitpick little things. Like we get really focused on the details of how things are happening and how we want them to go and how we want them to look, that we get so caught up in the mind and forget to just be. And taking a little bit of the medicine from the first deck, surrender. Surrender to the moment. Allow ourselves to be here now. Because there is a drive here to want to be more resourceful and use that resourcefulness to live a life of greater and greater joy. What's getting in our way is this feeling of wanting to control things and a few relational dynamics that might have been going on or are still going on to do with blame. So this is either blaming other people for what's going on in our lives or having a tendency to blame ourselves. I'm really seeing here it's like perhaps a comparison between ourselves and other people. Who is better, who is more worthy. And perhaps some of this comparison has led into a feeling of depression, of I'm not good enough to do this. I've got to be perfect. We have breathe. Breathe. So this is a reminder that if you are finding yourself caught up in the mind and thinking in terms of comparison, comparing yourself to another person in terms of how bright are we both shining, what are our accomplishments, what has this person done that I haven't done, or what have I done this person hasn't done, vice versa, to bring ourselves back to the breath. Everything is fine now. Everything is okay. I am enough. I can do this. I can do this, in fact, right here and now in the present without even really having to think about it very much. We have the honeybee, which is super cool because I have it on my ring. Honeybee. Honeybee says, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. So if you've been feeling any tension between you and another person, this is saying, allow yourself to have compassion for this person and their circumstances, what has led them to behave in these particular ways. Also, having compassion for yourself and what has led to you behaving in particular ways as well. And essentially, it's coming back to seeing the overall theme of this spread seems to be teamwork. Working together as a team. This is being in a team with yourself. So really, really supporting all of the different parts of yourself and their desires, what it is that they want. And also working well with other people too. So seeing what it is that you can learn from other people that may support you in this quest to enhance your resourcefulness and enhance this feeling of joy. Fire Dancer. So if you have been feeling depleted or depressed, so if you're resonating with this depression card and you've been feeling this stuckness or lack of energy in your life, Fire Dancer Red comes in as a sign that this is transitioning and you're moving into this new phase of vibrancy and increased productivity with the resourcefulness and increased joy and fire, vibrancy in your life. I also see it as really looking at how we can connect our passions with another person's passion and collaborate, work together on that and create something magnificent. The difficulties with this spread is in ensuring that we're reminding ourselves that everyone who is contributing to the overall picture is equally as brilliant, has equal gifts. Different and equal. Grandmother Fuchsia. And rolling the dice for this one. This is the back of the card. And this one, flower looks like this. Number 6. I welcome the loving guidance of wise ancestors in spirit. So to summarize, unicorn, you are guided, supported by a large community of spirit guides and guides in the physical flesh. They are reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be on your journey right now. They are reminding you to be present. And through being present and seeking support from the people around you, you will figure out how to create what it is that you want to create. How to breathe fire into your life and the lives of others. Sparkly unicorn bowing. That was spread number 3. If you have enjoyed spread number 3 and you're feeling like supporting someone in your community, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Also, I have links to my Patreon in the description box as well. And you can find on my Patreon some original art just like this one that's behind me here. And also some fantastic offers for those who would like to see more of what it is that I do here and connect even more. We have Variscite for deck number 3. Deck number 3 starts with the question of what would be possible for me if I let go of shame. The unicorn is having a little bit of a chuckle now because there are so many similar themes in this. Because your inner child just wants to play and be free. We have Caregiver Green. Sanctuary. And Abundance. 3 colors that are quite similar in that we have a dark green, we have like a greenish blue here going on, and another greenish blue going on here. And also our stone is the same kind of color. Shame is a sticky, greeny, yellow color, and it congests the heart. It creates this feeling of I'm just not enough as I am. I'm just not worth it. These 3 colors here, Caregiver Green, Sanctuary, and Abundance, all can relate to this shame that's going on here with this deck. Caregiver Green is where it represents the pattern of giving so much that we end up feeling depleted. Abundance represents fullness. So this is the opposite of the effect on the Caregiver Green card. What this is saying to me though is that this feeling of shame has led to a feeling of perhaps not having enough in life. This feeling of I'm going to run out. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough friends, I don't have enough family, I don't have enough support, but there's this feeling of I just feel empty in some kind of way. And it might be this overarching feeling of I just don't have the things that I feel like I need, even though you might have a lot of things around you. It's not reflected, it doesn't reflect on how much you actually have, it's more of a mentality of what you think about what it is that you have. So what happens with shame is that sometimes when we're feeling shame, we're feeling like we are inherently not enough. We have this tendency to give to other people to, in a way, show that we are worthy. If I'm a good person, if I give enough, I'm going to be worthy. It will heal my shame. If I give to another person in the way that I really, really want to receive, then perhaps someone will give to me in this way and I'll feel full. So this is really looking at patterns of how we are giving and receiving. Are we giving equal to how it is that we are receiving? Is it balanced? What it's showing in this spread is that there is an imbalance in some kind of capacity with this that has been brought about because of the shame. Sanctuary is what's coming up here. Sanctuary is a reminder that we have what we need within. We are inherently enough. And in fact, we are rich. Just thinking about how many cells are working together in our bodies to form our body systems that all then work together in our benefit to keep us alive is incredible. We are a wealth of information, of insights, and what happens with the shame is that we can feel disconnected from ourselves, because if we're not feeling like we are enough, why would we want to connect with ourselves more if we feel that way? So it can lead to this disconnection from every single part of us, potentially, or a part of us. We have enchantment. Your inner child needs to sparkle and be free. Let your innocence shine as you view the world through the eyes of a child. Notice the magic in everything. That's awesome. I love this. I'm really loving this combination on this deck. So this is really, really showing me is acknowledge, really pay attention to the mystical things in life, to the things that don't quite make sense, to the things you can't explain, to your imagination. And if you feel disconnected from your imagination, find small little steps to reconnect with your imagination, to reconnect with your inner child and build that bridge again, because your inner child is just so excited to see you, to connect with you, to talk with you. And in fact, they are tired of giving so much to other people, of giving so much of themselves, and investing in externalizing things, investing in other people, investing in all of these external resources, and they want to come back inside, into themselves, into their sanctuary, into their imagination, and play. Be free in that feeling of play. We have humility fuchsia. Looks like this. Rolling the dice. Number 6. My world around me reflects my world within me. So this goes into what we're saying to do with the enchantment color and the sanctuary, with the inner child message that's coming through for you. The world around me reflects the world within me. So then, if you go within yourself and have a look at what is there, have a look at any kind of part of you that may feel this shame feeling, that may feel like they're not enough, and get to know them, love them, nourish them, then that reflects externally too. And you'll notice that the more that you are connecting with yourself, loving these parts of yourself, really exploring your imagination, getting to know your inner child, this is reflecting outside of you as well. People will see this. People treat you differently when you treat yourself differently. Mercat. Get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends. If you have a community around you that you gel with, who understand you, you have this resonance with, they might be your soul tribe. Connect with them. Reach out to them for support when you need it. Another side of this humility fuchsia as well that is coming up, it's not actually written on the card, but what I'm feeling to do with it is it's about reaching out for support when you need it, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, sharing these feelings of shame that might be coming up for you, and recognizing and reminding yourself that we all feel this way. We have all felt this way. And wholehearted. Your inner child, your higher self, and those who love you in your life are there for you to help you to let go of this shame and to feel the fullness of your heart. I think this one is pronounced Quartz, not 100% sure. Beautiful yellow flower. Number 6. I choose freedom. And freedom is a really, really beautiful, beautiful card as well in this particular deck. And it's all about feeling an expansiveness. And what happens if we feel enough? We feel worthy of receiving. We feel worthy of feeling free. We feel worthy of our every breath. Clarity. See this situation with open eyes and use truth to enlighten you and make wise choices about your career and love life. So there may also be some really massive transitions going on for you in relation to love as well, and inviting perhaps new love in, strengthening love that is already there. But you're going to be seeing things in a new way with all of these combinations that are going on here. It's like you're really allowing yourself to open up, to receive more, to accept what you deserve in your life, and really see things in a new way, in a way where you're embracing these possibilities. What would be possible for me if I was willing to experiment and make mistakes? We all make choices sometimes that perhaps other people don't understand, or we might not even understand. But this is how we learn. And everything that you have decided to do is perfect because it has formed you and the you that you are is just and is right for you. Allow yourself to be you. To play with the unknowns and the mystical. Okay, that was deck number 4. If you did enjoy that deck, please hit the thumbs up button and drop a comment in the description. Subscribe to the channel, you know the drill. And also, I have Patreon link in the description box as well if you'd like to check out my original artwork and also some really wicked, cool rewards. Alright, we'll catch you next time. So, we are on our last deck now, which is the red Calcite. What would be possible for me if I let the world see my amazingness? We have the manatee, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Patience. And holistic. Quite a few blues and greens coming out at the moment. So I'm getting this overall sense here of taking things slow, which is interesting because the crystal that was chosen was red. You might be someone who has a lot of energy, who thinks a lot about things, who is an action taker. You may perhaps want to be this. The cards are showing something that is quite contrary to that. So if that does describe you, and if you resonated with this crystal because you felt drawn to those kind of qualities that are represented in the red, then what this is saying is to take a step back, slow down, look at the greater picture of what is going on here, take a few breaths, and to remind yourself that things are happening in right timing. I'm gaining this sense from this spread that you are someone who has some idea of what it is that they're doing, has some idea of, there's a vision, there's an idea, there's something that you're wanting to bring into your life in some kind of capacity. You might already be working on it, or you're either working on it already, or the idea is so crisp and ready that it's just about to pop through and be actioned on. And it's like this part of you, and it's the inner child, right? The inner child is like, there's this wicked thing that I'm about to do, or that I'm doing, and I'm so excited to share it, to put it out there, to have it be seen, to make it known. I'm ready to shine. Shiny the unicorn is like, yeah, you know that you're awesome, that you can do this. People want to see it. People want to see how amazing you are. Shine bright. And we have relationships. So during this time, while you are really focusing on fostering what it is that is coming through you, I'm seeing this reminder to, if you are a driven person, to really spend time with your relationships. So the people that you love, the people that you care about, connect in with them, ask them for their impressions on things, show them the things that you're doing, allow the people around you to really see what it is that makes you shine. So if you are someone who is actually on the flip side of a little bit of what I was talking about with this one here, and you're a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved, this is a sign to say, hey, allow people to see you, to see what it is that makes you shine. Step out. And we have the flower card here. Roll the dice for it. Number 4. I am ready for spiritual pilgrimage. So there's some kind of deep journey that you're going on here in order to really bring out the shining qualities of yourself into the world. Rebellion. So what's coming through is a little bit different. And it's going to require some strength to really, really pull this through. Movement. So it could potentially require some form of travel, that your vision that you have for yourself in your life, it requires you to move in some kind of capacities. This could be quite literally that you want to travel as part of your vision for yourself, or you're someone who really enjoys to dance, or there's some kind of physical activity that really, really works for you, that helps you to bring things through. And in fact, moving might actually be part of your brilliance and part of what it is that is amazing about you, that you would like the world to see a little bit more, to really show people that you have these it's like you're showing the world that you have these two different sides, these two completely different sides here. You have this side of you that is quite slow and measured and understands the greater picture. And then there's this other part of you, so it's like, I'm seeing that part of you is very flowy, watery, just, I'm hearing goes with the flow. And there's this other part of you that's just kick-ass, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get it done, I don't care if I'm a little bit different. Because you've been judged, you've had situations that have been difficult for you in your life, but what's coming up now is you're saying, I'm tired of that. I want the world to see what it is that I can do, what I'm capable of, and I'm going to make it happen now. We've had this body theme come up in this spread with the movement, strength, and particularly these two cards can be related to the body. It can, as I said before, physical exercise, physical movement. We have what would be possible for me if I paid attention to the messages from my body. So, this is a call to really connect in with the physical body. If you're someone who has experienced or is experienced with energy work, with body work, then this is something that you're going to know how to do quite intuitively. If you're someone who's not quite, there is a lot of information out there on this topic, and that you can find. I might be posting some videos on my YouTube about this in the future, but essentially what this is about is it's about body awareness. It's about knowing what you're feeling in each moment in your body. And this is key for you. This is a pivotal part of what it is that you're doing. Partly because it's important for you to understand your body, to understand how you're feeling, because it's important to you that you're feeling whole, that you're taking care of your entire self, and the body is part of your entire self. But also I'm sensing that for some of you here, it might lead in the direction of you having some kind of incredible skill to do with helping other people with their bodies. And this could be part of your amazingness. So you could be a dancer, you could be a body worker, you could be someone who is skilled at understanding the connection between the body and mind and spirit. And we have courage here. This is a time for new beginnings. A challenging cycle is coming to an end. Be courageous and the victory is yours. So this looks like it really ties in with this rebellion and strength colors here. So you've really had to navigate through some quite challenging things in your past, and will continue to face these challenging things in your future too. There are going to be resistances that do come up, and opinions that come from other people when you are sharing your amazingness out there in the world. But you're dedicated, you're committed to your spiritual path, to your progression. You're fearless and courageous. You know that there's nothing that can stand in your way from what it is that you're wanting to achieve. And if anything does come in your way, you can swiftly move it. It's clear, it's done, just like this. Easy, simple. And so the inner child comes in here and says, move your body, dance everybody, make it hot in this party. Everybody dance now. Din, din, din. So for some reason, that's the song that came through. Everybody dance now. So this is a celebration of life, right? This is about you celebrating life. This is about celebrating life with other people. This is about movement. So this is the movement of energy, physical movement, action, understanding what is coming through the body, the energies that are passing through. There's really a sense in this spread of mastery over this, really mastering the body, really mastering emotion. And overall, really, the grand picture of who you are, understanding how to live as this holistic being. And I'm really getting this sense in this spread that you could be a teacher in some capacity. If not now, then perhaps in the future. And if you're not a teacher, have a look at where you might be teaching people in small ways in life, because you don't have to be a teacher as a profession to teach. To share, to exchange things. It's a very deep spiritual journey in this deck. You gain. And the wealth of wisdom that is coming through your body is incredible. Play with it, dance with it, celebrate it. I'm hugging the unicorn. So, if you have enjoyed this reading number 5, then click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. I have really appreciated joining you today and reading these cards for you and with you. It's been really, really interesting seeing how they all combine together. There's a lot of very similar themes in different ways. Really, overall, I'd say that to all of us, our inner child is asking us to really just embrace everything that we are, because we're brilliant. And we deserve it. We deserve to shine bright, to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged, to create the things that we want to create, to design the life that we want to live, to be loyal to our hearts, to be in honor to what it is that we are here to do. So again, I have a Patreon link in the description box, so if you'd like to support me ongoing, you can check that one out and see what I'm up to, and we can connect more. So until next time, this has been Pick a Card reading with Micaiah Storm. Keep shining.